Now today should be a really easy travel day. We've only got about an hour to go. Now we still have everything to pack up. Here it is about 9 o'clock, so we've got about 2 hours. Checkout time is at 11 a.m. This should only take us about 45 minutes, should take us. Oh, and we also have to take the golf cart back. We do not have to get fuel today. We don't need to make any stops. We've still got fuel in our auxiliary tank. We don't have any really necessary stops to make today. We just have to drive to the next campground. So that'll be nice to just kind of hook up, get in the truck and head over.
Now, I don't know what was into us this morning, but for whatever reason, this pack up went extremely fast. Much faster than usual. We did nothing different other than the fact we weren't running around with a camera, we just had it posted up filming.
So for those of you that may be unfamiliar, this is like an airline track that stretches the whole length of the RV, or the whole length of this base part of our RV, and you can buy all kinds of attachments that hook into this stuff. There's a bunch of like third-party companies that make all kind of stuff. I just picked these hooks up on Amazon. They just push right on in there, and you can strap stuff down kind of anywhere. I got this bike set up strapped here. On the other side, I'm gonna throw one more there. Got the scooters there. There's a company that makes like motorcycle chocks that lock into those things. They just make all kind of stuff. Just kind of a cool thing to have.
All right, we are done. We packed everything up on the inside in like 15 minutes, which was extremely fast for us. I don't know how that happened so fast. But anyways, I'm not gonna complain.
Because we put it on the time lapse instead of talking the whole time, we decided to get things done this morning. But this is kind of what our setup looks like on travel day. Normally, these chairs are in the bottom pass-through, but we have a pretty short travel day today, and they're gonna get pulled right back out. So there they went for today. And then kind of back here is just stuff, but it's just easier to put it back here and disperse some weight. It's time to take this here golf cart back. We'll get hitched up.
I was just gonna take it back whenever we leave. I was just gonna follow.
Yeah, I guess I do need to hook up all the stuff from the outside, which, by the way, I got me another extension cord reel. My last one was 100 foot, was good for a 100-foot extension cord, and it fits a 50-foot lay flat, like pretty much perfect. This one said it was for a 150-foot extension cord, so it's a little bigger, which I didn't realize that when we ordered it. It's a little like bigger and like this way. It's a little bigger, which I think will still be fine, but I feel like it's a smidge narrower too, so maybe it'll still kind of pan out the same. And if you've got lay flats and you're wanting a good solution, I'll leave the link to this below. These cord reels make rolling up these lay flats so much easier and faster. Now we get to try out the new lay flat reel, is what we'll deem this thing as.
Huh.
That is so much easier and neater to put away when it's like this and not just some big ball of hose.
If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe bucket.
Do it now, just the little like, give us a little, send a thumbs up, but
let
give
me
us a little
redo it.
thumbs up.
Stop. I called it a bucket. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Click the notification bell.
Now, to save you guys any more of the head-throbbing noise that I've been dealing with editing this video and listening to that lawnmower scream in the background, I'm just going to cut straight to the point. We proceeded to pack up all of our gear here, our water filter, our power cords, and our sewage hoses as well.
It's after 10 already, so we got to be out of here by 11.
What time after 10 is it?
I don't know, it's probably 10:30.
1018. Golden.
Time to take this golf cart back, baby. Here we go. Feel like we hooked up on time. Or not really on time. I feel like we hooked up really fast today, so we are on time.
Now, I don't know what her definition of hooked up is, but my definition is everybody's in the truck is then hooked to the RV, and the RV is pulling out of the site. That is my definition of hooked up. But apparently Courtney is living in Courtney's world this morning, and she just wants to think that we are that much more ahead of schedule than we really are.
To be honest, I don't really know where I'm supposed to take this thing either. Assuming up front, but all the rest of them, that's where we're gonna take it. We'll take it right here. Skirt. All right, I'm gonna go take the key back.
Come on back. Oh, where you going? Oh, right there. Maybe four, just no, right there's fine. Just let it sit. She inflated the airbag before. She inflated the airbag before the trailer was on there, and it lifted the back of the truck so freaking high. It'll go up until it reaches the pressure, but since there's no weight on it, it doesn't have anything fighting the pressure.
Okay. I was trying to be on my game.
Trying to send the truck up, man, like we had a lift. It almost latched just by edging the things up.
Did it go up that high?
Yeah, there was ball was going up in there. Now we can inflate the airbags.
Get the stackers, and that's it. Then we'll be ready to pull out. Thank you. All right, and with that, it's time to pull out. Time to get going.
Here's one of those prime examples of what being hooked up really is. You're hooked up to the trailer and you are in motion. But with that being said, it's glad to see that we're finally getting on the road. Well, almost.
Hey, we didn't drop the patio when we were here, did we? Remember? Nope. Glad I thought about it.
We almost made a mistake.
Now we're just blocking the road.
Well, not only are we blocking the road, but
So tight.
we forgot. Oh, it's double wrapped.
I see that.
Forgot to strap in our patio gates.
So now we're
They
blocking
latch,
the road.
like the main gates latch, but then we have our third pieces, and they just bungee up to it here. These are a lot like more heavy duty than a lot of RV gates, so I like them. But they do require some extra work as far as like strapping goes. I always put those big ones on the top. This is slightly dysfunctional, y'all. Just know that it's not always flowers and
You told me to put that.
we're not always
put them on the
chasing
bottom.
rainbows. No, I've never told you to put them on the bottom. I told you to put the
I think
little
that
ones on the
we
bottom.
have-
Help us. Okay,
Now we're ready to go.
now we're ready to go. Time to hit the road, baby. Time to hit the road.
Thankfully, after all that packing up, we only had about an hour and a half drive, and we got some pretty decent countryside Indiana views.
We're here, we made it. We got to move some stuff around to get in. Or Hugh's moving the picnic table so we can get in. Look at you.
Trash all in there.
So gross. Why?
Trash in a trash can, man.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
As per the usual, I'm backing in the site, and Courtney is running around in my blind spot telling me where to go. And I can't see her because, well, today we decided to not use our reverse cam, our little camera that we just recently added to the back of the trailer. Yeah, we didn't have it hooked up today. So as she was running around in my blind spots, I was aimlessly trying to get this thing lined up with the edge of the grass there so that it looked halfway decent for the neighbors.
I think that was one of, besides doing the Florida shuffle, that was pretty easy travel day today.
Definitely one of our shortest of the season since we left Florida. How far back did you pull me?
Right, kind of at the grass line. It like might be over just a smidget. Oh yeah, our mat.
There's our mat.
Ta-da! Here comes the RV. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here.
Putting out this massive mat here. Grab that side, buddy, and pull it out.
Go that way towards the grass. Look at that.
Yeah, this mat here actually is one of the biggest ones I think we've ever seen for a camping mat. It's 22 feet long and 10 foot wide. You can find it on Etrailer. I will leave the link down in the description for it. We've had this for, we got it right after we got this trailer. It's been great. Yeah, let's check it with the level though, because could be wrong, but I'm guessing we're gonna have to adjust it some. Oh yeah. It's gonna be like the last part, so you probably have to pull all that back out.
You good?
Yeah, pretty good. I need to reset my levelers here. It's not hard to do. It just kind of got out of whack at some point, and they just need to be reset.
Can you turn the?
So I just adjust it once we're in the rig and we're set up. Front to back is all. It's right. Front to back's no problems. It's pretty good. Once we get a good level sight, I'll reset it all again. I just don't see the point in resetting it when the whole rig is super extended on one side. Just adjust it. Go ahead and pop these slides out, and then I'll go hook up all of our power.
After a quick bite to eat, the offload went fairly quickly. Just about as quick, if not faster, than the load up.
All right, we are now set up. Quick, super easy drive day today. Travel day.
It was.
No hiccups, no nothing.
It was so easy that I think y'all needed more time with me. So now we're gonna jump in to the next project. Okay, so originally this wasn't gonna be a part of this vlog, but I figured why not go ahead, just get it over with, get it done. It's a project that has been lingering over my head for, what, 2 months?
Had it for a while.
We've had it for a while.
Had stuff for a while.
The story behind this is a little crazy too, because I had to play package savior between UPS and this park that kept it returned to my first order, which was really aggravating. In the second order, it tried to do it again. Luckily, I was able to divert it to the UPS store. And anyway, long story short, getting these materials was quite the headache, simply because UPS kept messing it up. However, you can find all the stuff we're going to be using at Etrailer. I will leave the links to the specific items in the description below. If for some reason you want to do the same thing or something similar to your RV, or just like any of the products that we are about to install. When you're hooking up at night and it's dark outside, it can be difficult. I don't have lights in the bed of my truck. Like, I know some of the newer trucks have like bed lights all inside it. I don't. And so I think I have come up with a good solution. I went scoring Etrailer's website, and they have what feels like a gazillion lights on their website. So I wanted something really bright, because not only just for hooking up, but like if we're in an area where maybe the kids, there's been times where we've had friends over and the kids just want to run up and down the street, and we just wanted something bright that we could light the front space of the RV up, not only while hooking, but for situations like that as well. And I found these guys. This little light here is little but very mighty, because I have tested it out and it is bright. It is almost too bright. Originally, my plan was to put one here, kind of like that. We're gonna mount it like that. This will drill through this and we'll wire it up accordingly. I was gonna put one here and one here. And then the idea thought, well, is there any way I can get it here? Which obviously that's not happening. I don't want to mount it to the tubes, the framing, because I don't want to drill through the tubes and framing to mount it higher. I've also thought about tucking it up in this corner. This has an angle, so it will kind of angle down. And I've thought about making it slightly lower, but if I make it too low, I start messing with the angle. So it might be one of those lights that when they're on, you just don't look at it with your eyes, because you will see stars. It is a very, very, very bright little light. This doesn't say how many lumens it is, but when I'm editing, I will put however many lumens this is. Because this doesn't have a on-off switch, we're actually gonna be installing a switch in one of the pass-throughs. We're gonna put one there, we're gonna put one over there. That way at night, we can turn these suckers on and just flood it with light.
Or early morning hookup
Or
situation.
early morning. Like the last time, our last travel day, we had like a 7-hour run to get here, and it was dark when we were hooking up, and sometimes just having that little extra light makes a huge difference. All right, our water spigot is having a day. Our water just went out here at the park, which brings me to always keep a little extra water in your freshwater tanks, because,
Well, why is it doing that?
I have no idea. I guess we're on a low end of the park, and that's some type of bleed off when it's low pressure. You know what this reminds me of? How many of you remember sprinklers as a kid that were like that little, kind of like a U shape, and then would just like rotate around slowly? I feel like this is like that. It could just do.
Why is it like that?
I don't know, never seen a spigot like that before. Anyway, we're gonna fast forward through this install process so that we can show you guys the finished results. Now, what would any good project be if you didn't immediately start it and not have something you need? Luckily, there is a Tractor Supply right up the road that has what we need.
Yeah,
So-
we don't have Ace or Home Depot around.
There's
so
nothing. We're in this like little,
we're in a country town,
we're in
kind
a
of.
little kind of off the beaten path town. The post office is the size of a shed, and yeah, so we got to run up to the hardware store and
Oh,
grab
It's hot.
some
though.
screws and stuff, because I don't have anything that are the proper size. Now, we're not big on filming inside of places, but
Going to the good old Tractor Supply.
we might just try to break ourselves in.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people don't like
Sometimes
it.
it's weird, you know, some people don't like it, and some people just look at you funny, and then you're walking around the store and people are just looking at you. Or you're walking around talking to a square cube with a lens on it.
Too big. Good.
I think these will work. You know,
Oh
these will
my
work
gosh,
to hold
look
the
at
wide one.
those. 1x8.
Yeah, there's some big bolts in here. You know, bolts for your tractor and stuff.
Look at the 1x8 on the bottom. No, that's 6. This one's 8.
That's a bolt there. I think it's bigger than one of them.
Take it noted, or let it be noted, that we didn't bring any of the things with us. So we don't know what size we're
We don't have to talk about
So
where
he's
we're
guessing.
slacking.
They're expensive. Don't know.
I really don't like 1-inch screws. I really would like 3/4. They have a 3/4. Do they have like a? Oh, little birdies. These are tiny over here. Oh, tweety tweet.
All right, made it out of Tractor Supply. We may have wandered a little bit.
We've got
Saw some chicken.
our screws that are worth what seems to be you know, $1 million a
No.
pound. 50 screws cost a whole $15. It is crazy how much things have just inflated in cost. Now, granted, it is a Tractor Supply, just like Ace, Tractor Supply, your mom and pop hardware stores, they cost more. I prefer going to like a Lowe's or Home Depot when I get stuff like this because you can get a bigger quantity for pretty much the same amount. But today we are limited by what is available regionally here without having to drive way out of the way.
Sorry.
The drive back was short and beautiful, but even still, it would not prepare us for what we were about to run into next.
Y'all know how in the store I said, oh, he's guessing. He's making a guess.
Oh, you know, remember when we got in the
Well-
truck and we said, hey, we forgot to take the light so that we can measure the size screw that we need? Well,
And they don't fit.
they're too short.
Well, they fit. They're just not
The hole
long enough.
size is perfect. But
Here, show 'em. Grab one.
so the thing with the light is inside this hole here, I've got about, it's recessed about like that much. I thought it was more like that, not like a ½ inch. I thought it was more like 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. So I thought I was gonna have like this much screw sticking out. Well, turns out when this thing is in there,
It doesn't.
I just have the threaded, like the self-drilling part sticking out, so it's not gonna work. But this light kit, you do get bolts and a little Allen wrench. The problem with these in my specific application is I can't get to the back side of this easily with like a bolt or wrench or anything. So feeding the wire down is easy because it's a big cavity behind here, but there's no way for me to like reach behind. It's like 90. Well, I mean, maybe I could take that vent off and just do it that way.
Do one side though, but you're
But
still
this
gonna
side, I could take this off and get behind it. Maybe I could. Maybe we pause for a second. Because you know, here's the thing, is we're just like wasting time. We're just wasting time.
He wanted to get this done. Here we go.
Wow, wow, wow.
What did you
I
get?
certainly can. I got a nice big access
Cool.
hole there. So,
Bolts it is.
bolts it is.
I'm glad we went to Tractor Supply and bought $13 screws.
You know, you can't. You gotta respect the hustle here. All right, so bolts it's gonna be.
All right.
Now, just like most men, I decided to do this thing the absolute hardest way I possibly could. I was measuring out my center point and then was going to try and level a piece of 1-inch tape across the front of the RV, which, might I add, was not an easy thing to accomplish. That's why, well, I didn't accomplish it. So then I decided to finally put my thinking cap on and get some sense, and I took the bracket, or the gasket that sits behind the light, marked out my holes after I leveled up the gasket, and we were ready to start drilling.
Once I start drilling, there's no return.
Now, I thought I was being super smart by using this Phillips head bit to mark some center punch holes because I couldn't find my center punch, because, well, tools are just everywhere when you live in an RV and it's hard to keep everything in one spot. But at least I was smart enough to use some smaller pilot holes, because what happens next is gonna need a little bit of a touch-up.
Slightly off on this one, but really the end ones are correct. The middle one's off a little bit.
So in order to fix my mistake, I thought it was best just to drill some more holes. So that's exactly what I did. I drilled another small hole right next to the other hole that wasn't correct, in hopes that when I drill the bigger holes, we can make them all line up.
Better?
I think I can make that work.
Oh my. Those are big holes.
Look at there. Perfect.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Good job.
Just doing a quick little.
You want a little bolt thing?
No, I don't want to do that.
No, I mean just to stick it so it stays.
It's not going nowhere because that cord's in it. Yeah, it'll look good.
Yeah.
6 inches would be put the center
Sure.
right here.
All right. Well, here.
Put the middle of the light there. It's probably fine.
All right, go over there and look.
I don't know. You see, you look.
Oh, jeez.
That should be more like that, and then otherwise it's going to be more like that.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
On the count of 3, we'll say which one we like better, either center or offset. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Center. I think it looks better right over the
It
plug.
does. It does look better.
You can't tell that they're that much different
Yeah.
when they're over the plug, but that plug really throws it off. Like,
Yeah. All right. Well, do it over it. We'll just.
so I ran into a little bit of a pickle here. You see, I've installed that side there, centered. I kind of centered it. It's pretty much centered this way, and it's how I did. I just pulled 6 inches off this outside wall, and that's where the center of this is. It's not bolted in yet. The wire's just going through. But then over here, I've got this switch panel, and the switch panel isn't like centered on this plate. So when I center this up, like I was going to match the other side, it makes it offset. And to me, it just looks funny. It's driving me crazy. So I think for this specific side, I think I'm just gonna center it over the switch plate, because I think that aesthetically, I think it'll just make more sense. I think it'll look better than if I completely offset it. What would you guys do? Let me know. It's gonna be too late by the time y'all are watching it, but I'm curious what you guys would have done. I think I'm gonna go with
centered or offset.
Centered or offset to
Let us know in
technically
the
match the
comments.
measurements on the other side.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with centered over the switch panel here, just to make it make sense and not look so funky.
Now, of course, this did not go as smoothly as I wanted it to either, and we ran into the same problems we had on the other side, where 2 of our holes lined up good and 1 for some reason didn't. I don't know why, but I guess that's just how this project went. It seems as though if you could get 2 straight, 1 was bound to be crooked and you were gonna have to fix it anyway. So we were luckily able to make another little pilot hole and tried to get them to line up. I went ahead and drilled the 2 big holes on one side just to see how far off I was, and I was literally half a hole off. So I was able to waller it out with the other one just a smidge, make another center punch, and fix my mess up. When it was all said and done, it worked out perfectly, and we were able to get them to line up. Contrary to the rest of this project so far, cutting the hole for the switch actually went pretty smooth. Because this panel has a composite exterior and an aluminum panel behind it, it took a little extra time, but I cut a piece of tape to match the size hole I needed for the switch, and it cut just fine with the plunge cutter.
So if you've ever wanted to know what the walls, the interior paneling of the ATC look like, instead of having like a thin wood-based interior panel, it's this composite. This is like a fiber composite of some sort. It's got some type of fiber backing on it, but it's like a solid composite. It's not styrofoam. I don't know what it is, but it's composite. And now our switch will go right here. Look at that. It'll look professional when we're done.
Okay, here's for the very last, most aggravating part of this whole thing, it seems, bolting them in and getting them wired up. The wiring actually really wasn't that hard, but getting these things bolt up with my hands in these tiny little holes was by far the most aggravating part of this project. In hindsight, I probably should have just spent the 30 minutes driving back to Tractor Supply for longer screws instead of spending an hour and a half to use the bolts that came with the kit because, well, my hands did not exactly fit very well in these holes. But after it all said and done, we got it buttoned back up and all was good.
Okay, so that took way longer than I anticipated to put these two in, with the setbacks of having to go to the store, and then ultimately ended up having to change our plan altogether because even those screws are too short. So we ended up bolting them, had to kind of go in a different way through this propane bay over there. You guys saw it on fast forward, but that one kind of gave me a struggle because this hole right here behind this is so small. I mean, you see how big my hand is. I had to like squeeze my hand in there to reach behind it to tighten it up. It was frustrating. We got our switch in here. I'm not gonna mount it yet until I know which way is on and off. And then I'll mount it, so I gotta go put the fuse back in. This one mounts like that, and this hole here. So now that we are here and the sun is going down, it's almost time to test these bad boys. So I'm gonna intentionally leave all my stuff here on this table and then utilize my new lights to clean up my mess.
It's a good idea.
But with that being said, I think everything turned out good. With that being said,
We'll see you guys on the next one.
one last thing. It's getting darker and I really just wanted to show you guys this sunset. It is absolutely pink cotton candy all over. It's absolutely beautiful. Not so much that way. Look at that. Maybe so. Maybe a little bit that way. Wow. What an awesome sunset. It is getting a little darker. Courtney, you want to go ahead and hit those buttons? We'll just show them it's not super dark. Maybe we'll close it out once it gets midnight. But go ahead and turn them off. Turn them on. Turn them off. Turn them on. Turn them off. Turn them on. Okay. I was just seeing how many times I can get you turned off and on. Okay. All right. All right. We're really getting out of here this time. You guys stay safe. We'll see you on the next one. All right, y'all. Just wanted to kind of give you all the final look. I know the video's over and all, but how could I resist? Look how bright these suckers are. This is perfect. Perfect, perfect. They turned out so good. So good. Super bright. Won't have any problem seeing while we're hooking up now. Okay, this is the final goodbye. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you already haven't. We love you. We will see you on the next one.